Radio astronomy. In 1931, Carl Jansky first discovered radio waves. He found this He discovered them whilst being employed at a telephone company to investigate the static that was being produced by their telephones. He first found that there were three types of static which were being produced. Two of them were from thunderstorms, and one was an unknown type that he later realized to be radio waves from the astronomical constellation termed Sagittarius. Then, in the late 1930s, an engineer named Grope Reaver created the first bowl-shaped radio telescope. This was used to collect and measure radio waves given off by objects in space. The way that a radio telescope works is relatively simple in that it uses a bowl-shaped reflector, which is this object right here. It's termed a dish, and these collect the radio waves from space. They then reflect them onto this silver circular shape, which is called an antenna, which changes them into electrical signals so that a radio receiver can amplify the signals and record their strength at different frequencies and from different directions. This allows the information to be analyzed by a computer to draw a picture of the source of the radio waves or to analyze the chemicals found in the source. This can actually allow physicists to map entire planets or moons. They do this by sending actual radio waves from Earth onto these planets, and then they record the waves that bounce back to Earth using a radio telescope, and they create an image of the surface. And this technique is called radar mapping because, like the name suggests, it can map the surface of a planet or star. If you imagine an ultrasound, it works much in an identical fashion to that. Some important discoveries that were helped or were actually proven by the use of radio telescopes were the emission of radio waves from the Milky Way and the Sun. They also helped prove the existence of quasars and pulsars, and they helped to locate black holes and potential supernovas. They do this by detecting radio waves. Now, unlike the optical telescope, which relies wholly on light waves to be able to make an image or to be able to be viewed, radio telescopes rely on radio waves. And in space, there are a lot of objects which aren't visible because they don't emit any light, so it's impossible for us to see them, such as black holes, but they do emit radio waves. So a way to detect where they are is by detect where black holes, for instance, is by using the radio waves to actually find a means of knowing where in space a black hole is or where a potential supernova could happen to create another black hole. This is just one of the important discoveries that the radio telescope has enhanced in astrophysics, and there are many more doors that they can help to improve or to discover. Hopefully this provided you with some insight onto radio astronomy or radio astrophysics.